Our guest today, Joe Di Bacco, is Senior Director of Client Activation, Head of Client Affairs for Q4, an investor relations firm with a lot of public company clients. So Joe really has a good handle of what IR web pages look like these days. I'm Brock Romanek. So in closing, what kind of, are there any cool things you're seeing out there that might be a harbinger of something that might become a common trend, or does some companies,
Yeah, I mean,
out?
cool for sure. That tends to venture into the realm of design and kind of layout. And there's always great examples, but in terms of meaningful trends that are starting to emerge, I don't think this is breaking new ground, but I think as you've noted and has been discussed before, ESG continues to be a huge component. What we're seeing is varying levels of involvement from the IR clients we work with, whether they are contributors to the message, whether they are just someone who delivers it, or it exists completely outside IR. But one of the things we're encouraging and we're starting to see is that is becoming a lot more entangled in the IR space, and rightly so. I've got a couple of great examples that I can show you. What I'm looking at here, a couple of great clients who use their IR space in order to really drive home their message around ESG. So this is Wendy's. Nothing complex in terms of how it's structured, but just very simple summary, videos, and each of the segments drilling down directly into how it is that their company lives these values. So again, it's not so much that they've taken great lengths to define or create material that is unseen or unheard of, I guess. It's just that they've tied that so nicely into their overall messaging around their investor site. Salesforce does the same. You can see they have another section which is dedicated to their environmental and social practices. And as you kind of scroll down, it gives you direct access to their policies, their impact reports, visual reports that are created with the same care and attention that would have been typically associated with annual reports and that sort of thing. So just the fact that this is becoming more prevalent, I think is a great indicator. And in terms of messaging to others, it's always something we talk about, owning that. And we're definitely seeing an increase in terms of investor interest in this material. I certainly don't need to tell you or your audience that. So it's always a wise thing to give people information before they have to ask for it.
Yeah, I'm not going to be surprised at all within the next 10 years if the ESG section of a corporate website is larger than the investor section. They're broken out, and that even right now there's a duplication where lawyers who typically draft the proxy statement are being called upon to draft the sustainability report, the ESG report. But one day I think it's too much for one person to handle, and it's
for sure. And the depth of specialization and kind of ownership is going to be such that you're going to want dedicated people on that, right?
Yeah.
And now people have the ability to separate themselves a bit. To your point, in a couple of years, it probably will be table stakes. So all the companies that get on board quick and can make that an effective part of their site now are definitely going to benefit from that.
Well, thank you so much, Joe. I'm so grateful for what you've done for your clients to bring them in the modern days with IR web pages, because at first, the first decade was pretty bad, but it's definitely gotten a lot better. And thanks to companies like Q4. Thanks very much.
No problem. Thanks so much, Brock. It was great chatting with you.